What's the word, Harrisburg? My name is Gina Johnson Roberson, and we are so thrilled you're with us for this first episode of our new program on WHBG Channel 20. You just heard it. What's the word, Harrisburg? We have a great conversation planned today as we get set for Dauphin County's Cultural Fest coming up Saturday, August 20th from 3 to 10 p.m. on City Island. We have with us from Dauphin County Festival organizer Larry Moore and Commissioner George Hartwick. Welcome to the show. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have here with me right now Mr. Larry Moore and Commissioner George Hartwick. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon.
Excited to be here.
Oh, I can tell. It's written all over their face.
Come on, we
we
were already getting into it before the camera started. So
We've already talked about it, that we dress together, and Gina has a beautiful pink outfit on, so no, we're in good shape.
Since we're talking about Cultural Fest, because that's what you're here for, I just want to ask you one question. How you like my cultural hair?
man, looking good, girl. I'm gonna tell you straight
Y'all hear
up.
that?
It's beautiful.
Looking good, girl, and your dress is summer appropriate.
Uh-oh.
And you're gonna come out on them stunting at the.
Oh, that's
Cultural
right. I
Fest.
forgot to tell you guys. I'm the host of the Cultural Fest.
Yes,
Forgot that part.
for the past 3 or 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah. Y'all know a good thing when you got it.
Yes,
We do.
Okay.
We saw you at Singers Lounge. We knew it was a natural
Now,
fit.
that's my baby. Shout out to the Singers Lounge. They're coming on real soon. But today, Cultural Fest. So, how many years has the Cultural Fest been in effect?
It's been in effect for 14. Well, this is 13 years. We're going on our 14th year, and it's just been growing, if you can believe it or not, but it's been growing every single year. And this is our biggest year that we've had.
Because initially, it started out, George, in front of the courthouse.
Correct. I mean, when I arrived in Dauphin County, it was a little bit of a different experience for me because I'm used to a town that represents many countries and one people.
All
and,
right.
I also know that Dauphin County gets its strength through its diversity.
Correct.
And the ability for us to be able to understand different viewpoints and ideas and being able to use those opportunities to also understand our strengths are something that I wanted to familiarize our staff with. And we started by trying to engage them around different cultures, but there was a large contingency of Dauphin County employees when I started that were just of one persuasion. I mean,
Okay.
they were Caucasian.
Okay.
And I know that the communities that we represent make up a wide variety of ethnic groups, and particularly, African American in my culture, the Latino groups, and now we've got a huge piece of Bhutanese and other populations that
Yes.
really need to be recognized in what Dauphin County looks like. And instead of figuring out a way to rustle up and look at those as differences and have a lack of understanding, this is an opportunity for us to be able to create some awareness. Food is universal, music is universal,
Yes.
Yes.
and the idea that we have our own culture but we come together as one community is something that I believe creates us to be stronger and better. I represent us nationally. But man, I'm proud of Dauphin County. Like no one can mess with us. We might fight amongst each other, but no one messes with Dauphin County. And that kind of identity is something that we wanted to be proud of and highlight in this cultural festival.
So, Larry, what is it, or how do you guys go about putting the Cultural Fest together? Like, who is
Well,
behind the scenes people?
It always takes money. That's number one.
Okay.
The Tourism Bureau, this year, Capital Blue Cross is our title sponsor.
Okay.
The city, for the first time, the city's always helped us out, but the city really is got in the boat with us this year as a presenting sponsor. That's
So,
helped a great
Shout
deal.
out to Mayor Williams.
Shout out to
Thank
Mayor
you, Mayor
Williams.
Williams. Isn't it great to see the city and the county
Yes.
working together
Yep.
on many of these initiatives?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's more so than that. I mean, the resources. I was just, driving down, and the resources that we have combined with the county and the city makes events so much easier to do because, a phone call, you can get things taken care of. So that helps a great deal with funding as well.
Okay.
But the cultural festival, like George was saying, came about that we wanted to bring the community together. You know, and I'm a retired basketball coach for 30 years and everything like that. I mean,
Yeah.
and sports is one thing where it never showed any color. Who cares whether you can score 20 points or 3 touchdowns or catch 5 passes? Excuse me. But as long as you can catch the ball or run, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
And then it's the same thing with music. If we can all tap our feet to that one beat,
Yeah.
we all got a lot in common. No matter what color we are, blue, green, yellow, we still can tap our feet to that one beat. And also that opportunity for the Cultural Festival to take advantage of the different foods and things like that. So no, we have a great time.
I want to give a shout out. We have an internal committee that we've been able to pull together. It's our
Okay.
Cultural Diversity Committee in Dauphin County, which is made up of the various departments that constitute county
Yeah,
government.
that's what I was getting
And
Right.
you know, they provide input year long on a number of events that provide you know, sort of this exposure to different cultures, different perspectives. Poverty training, understanding what people go through. I mean, they actually are the ones who assist us in being able to recognize the folks that we serve and really put us in a position to be more equipped to be able to treat people with respect,
Yeah.
understand where they're coming from, and then ultimately put these kind of events together. So we've got Faye Fisher, who's our Director of Personnel in Dauphin County. We've got Ruby Dahl, we've got George Connor, Edgar Cohen. And I don't want to start naming down folks,
Right.
but we've got a long list of folks who are
Okay.
representative of you know, each department of county government that provide input and ensure that we've got participation. Because this is not just about, you know, just like our children. They don't listen to what we say, they watch what we do.
That's
So we want to see departments being engaged fully with our community as a part of this effort. And we have community representation and county representation at all levels.
And he did he didn't mention Helen Spence. Helen Spence.
I'm gonna be in trouble
Helen
for that
Spence. Yeah.
And Frances Lavender.
Frances
yeah.
Lavender.
She says she kicks, but not that high.
And George Connor. A big shout out to George Connor,
Yeah.
Executive Director of Economic Development
Yes.
Corporation. George is the one kind of with the commissioners that held this thing together administratively. He's been a great resource to work with, and George, of course, has the tourism dollars along with the commissioners. So, in that combination with the sponsors, give us an opportunity to bring national artists in every year.
Now George is known as G Money.
I've heard that in the street. G-Con, G-Money. That's family appropriate.
So now, you guys have been bringing the funk for years. Who are we bringing this year?
Believe it or not, we're bringing the biggest show we've ever brought to the city of Harrisburg, Dauphin County.
Okay.
And that's going to be the 25th anniversary tour of Drew Hill, and that's Cisco,
Yes.
lead singer.
Let me put you on pause. Cisco.
They said thong, da, thong, 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 folks. You hear me?
But they're traveling. They're traveling with their new singers. They're traveling with the ones that have retired or quit and came back. They asked to come back
okay.
for the tour.
It's
They're
everybody.
traveling with 18 members. Thursday night, they're at the Dell Music Center in Philadelphia. They'll get in the tour bus and they'll be in Harrisburg for 2 days. I'm not going to mention where they're at, but they'll be here for 2 days, and we'll perform Friday or Saturday night at City Island South Parking Lot about 8:30, and it's a show that you don't want to miss.
So why did y'all move over to City Island?
But, and
ahead,
I'm
George.
going to talk about this because initially for me it was really important to have this festival on Market Street, because I believe that, you know, there's very few folks that come downtown from the communities that I serve. And I serve all of Dauphin County, but particularly the communities of color and urban communities that feel that they go to the courthouse for a whole lot of reasons,
Right.
except for to be plaintiffs and defendants.
Right.
And ultimately, it's the people of Dauphin County that own those buildings. Like, we're not supposed to be there in formal capacities. And we have proven that when we shut that street down, We're there in a way that brings people together to celebrate and to bring strength.
Yeah.
There's not been one issue,
Nope.
no incidents, no concerns, no bad newspaper articles. As much as the news might want to write about it, that's not happened when you bring people together for the right reasons.
Right.
That's a negative stereotype that needs to be gone related to the issues and the events that we have. And we just became too big for the street. So the idea is we can't cram 15,000 people on Market Street between Front and Second Street. But the symbolic reason originally that we were down there was, this is our community in front of the courthouse celebrating our diversity, and we deserve to be there just like everybody else. But the reason we moved to City Island is because, quite frankly, we've outgrown the space,
Okay.
and that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
So this year, I think, with the amount of vendors that continue to press me today, to the folks that want to be engaged with this, to our departments that see this as a grand opportunity to be able to talk to our community about issues that we don't want to arrive for negative reasons,
Yeah.
So instead of doing that, let's talk about how we can support families, and here's how you can do that. Let's talk about ways we can engage on the issue of mental health, and here's therapists that might be able to serve the community in a way that's not going to have negative impacts. We all struggling with trauma.
Yeah.
Let's figure out a way to help and heal our community, because healed people support people, hurt people hurt people.
Right.
And let's figure out a way to develop love as the reason for us to be able to join together, and those who are not fixed, let's deal with it as a community and make sure they're safe in the process of being able to get to that healing.
And just to echo what George is saying, the music is the carrot to bring people downtown. They don't realize we got 75 vendors this year.
Oh, wow.
And the 75 vendors, there's a very few of them that are craft merchandise vendors. The vendors that are down there are human resource people, employers. We're going to have the Kate COVID-19 mobile unit down there for shots. There'll be opportunities to apply for jobs down there. Okay. So there'll be a lot of things there other than the music.
Okay. Wow. Well, it sounds like it's going to be so from 3 o'clock. That's when we get to mingle with the vendors and the food and things like that. Can you tell me some of the food trucks that's going to be there? Because you kind of get hungry waiting for the acts to come on.
I haven't eaten lunch, so I'm real hungry.
We have Sherry's Crab Cake's going to be there. Mel's Barbecue is going to be there. Roland J's is going to be there. Several other Asian Taste that comes in from Maryland that does those food the meat sticks all the time. That never has a food truck. He just has a tent and a couple tables. But he comes every year.
Yeah.
We have Eddie's Ice that's going to be there, and several other people. Bucky's Foods are going to funnel cakes and hamburgers, hot dogs. So
is the lemonade people coming?
No, there's a coffee person coming, and there's a water person coming too.
I don't drink coffee, ladies and gentlemen.
But
maybe I can get a lemonade stand.
Hold on a second. It's not closed yet. Have your lemonade, folks. Call Larry before Saturday, and we're going to figure out a way to create some space.
We need some lemonade.
So, no, the food vendors are intact. We're ready to go. We're bringing in the biggest stage we've ever brought in before.
Okay.
The stage is 40 by 40. It's coming in from Maryland. We brought a special team in to do production from D.C. They just had Jill Scott a couple nights ago in New York.
Okay.
The sound company that's coming in. We have a video board for the first time. The video board is like 20 by 12, and the biggest thing of the video board.
You get to see me more.
We get to see you more.
A big part of this is, and I've talked to Larry about this, is to promote Black and brown businesses in this region.
Oh, great.
Yes.
I mean, like a part of Cultural Festival is to be able to give opportunities to those people who are operating, putting their own capital into the mix. They're people that, instead of going out and talking to Walmart and Amazon and everybody else, it's about raising awareness of the people from our own community that benefit this community, that are putting their own dollars at stake, that we need to figure out a way to step up as a community to support.
That's why we came up with this theme for Harrisburg, WHBG Channel 20, to showcase Black and brown, well, anybody's business for that matter,
Right.
that benefits the community.
Yep.
And so you guys are the first guests to present the Cultural Fest because it reaches out I think sometimes beyond Dauphin County, correct?
Yes, it
People
does.
come
Yeah.
in from Maryland. People come in from really the entire region that
Yeah.
people travel. And if you look at Drew Hill's schedule, I mean, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is on the schedule. They know. I mean, they're in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia tonight, and I think Florida over the weekend, and then back
Okay.
to Philly, and then here. So people know how to follow Drew Hill. So
Wow.
we'll have a lot of out-of-town guests. I mean, and that's another reason why we do things, that bring the national talent in, because of the tourism dollar and heads and beds that people come in and spend money, and the economic piece that all comes along. So
Yeah.
the formula that the commissioners in the city have evolved around, I mean, is just excellent.
So how much does it cost, Larry, to come to the concert?
It doesn't cost anything.
It's my favorite four-letter
It,
word.
it's free to the community, and the biggest thing, we hit on it a little bit about the video wall, and we asked Black and Brown sponsors, people to, as far as sponsorship for the wall, and it's like $250 for sponsorships, and we sent the letters out, and we only had like 6 over the weekend, and we made we got online and we chatted together. And we bought in over 25 Black and Brown businesses over the weekend that will go up on the screen.
So is
that
the-
people just unbelievably sent their logos in and said, "Yes, we'll support. Yes, we'll support." And it almost came down to a thing. I don't want to go to the festival and not have my name up there, and everybody else's. So no, very, very big, large community support.
So did this screen replace the banner that the logos had?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That was a problem. I felt like I was holding it up and figuring out ways to get it on stage. And now we're going to make sure everybody who's contributed are recognized.
Right.
And Gina, it's not an automatic screen. That's part of the rider that Drew Hill wanted, like a 40-foot stage and the screen, because when they have their shows, they put their logo up there and they put different things up there. I mean, we're going to see a real show.
Okay.
And not that we haven't had them.
Come on, we've had real shows, Larry.
We've had
know
real
you
ones,
hyping
but I
us up,
mean,
but we've had
I'm
some
not
real
hyping,
shows.
but I did see them recently. Phenomenal. With dancers, the musicians. We've never really had a dance group, with singers. We never really had that. We had musicians, top bands, and everything like that. Drew Hill has like
I got
4
you.
musicians.
Yeah.
And 2 DJs and dancers.
And 2 fabulous hosts.
It's gonna be a
me
show.
and Shuby.
Yeah.
Oh, you
so
already know that.
it's going to be a
You
I
show.
gotta leave. We forgot to mention Shuby, my co-host every year. So shout out to you too, Shuby.
What's up, Shoe Surreal?
So now, year 14. Give me some of your favorite acts that came.
Well,
I'm
go ahead,
going to go
George.
ahead first.
Go ahead.
My favorite, and folks were a little bit, backsliding as it related to the ability to bring him in was Dougie Fresh.
Okay.
I mean, the
6
same
minutes?
weekend, the city had a Slick Rick here, and they were talking about a reunion, bringing them together. That did not happen.
Okay.
But Dougie put about a 2.5-hour, 3-hour show together that involved all of the history of hip hop. And for me, growing up in that era, it's sort of strange. I went away to college. And I grew up with all the Motown hits, Stylistics, Ohio Players, and people were singing like Brown Eyed Girl, and I'd never heard the song before. But I could tell you every rap song and R&B song that's ever been out. But that was sort of a culmination of an era that, I had a chance to be able to realize through this show that was, performed with expertise, the same level of high professionalism that I thought it was going to be. But I also thought Chuck Brown was high level. I
Yeah.
mean, having the Godfather at Go-Go in, being able to have a 3-hour, I thought it was more like a exercise fest because I heard the same beat. I went to bed with that beat for like 3 months.
And everybody doing this.
And look, the heads were bobbing. Harrisburg had the rhythm.
Yes.
I will tell you something about Harrisburg. Between what we've done with Cultural Fest, the relationship we've had with the Harrisburg City, Boots and Sampson, I mean, Harrisburg is on the map. We're
Yes.
bringing
Yes.
in national
Yes.
acts.
Yeah.
They recognize that there's a cultural tourism opportunity and the ability to draw crowds. And folks are showing up for events that are, recognizing the level of talent we're bringing in. And it makes me feel so proud to be
Yeah.
at least some part of the catalyst that has helped that to happen. And our partners in this thing are phenomenal. And we're just grateful it's continuing to grow.
My wife just texted me a couple names.
Oh, here we go.
Chuck Brown, Dougie Fresh, Angie Stone, Big Daddy Kane,
That's
Michael
right.
Collier, the comedian.
Sheila E.
Sheila E.
That's right.
Tony last
Tony,
year.
Yes.
Tony.
Confunction, Tito Puente, to name a few.
Yeah.
Did you bring the SOS band?
Oh, yeah. And,
we did.
and the SOS band was my daughter's favorite band. That's
Listen.
one of the top 5, top 3.
What'd you say?
SOS band.
Save me, forget me not.
That's Patrice Russian.
My bad.
My
Ladies
grandson's
and
over there
gentlemen.
shaking his head.
So who gets the SOS band? Come on, let me hear SOS band, John.
I can't do that, Drew.
Okay.
Now, I'm going blank, ladies and gentlemen, but give me a second.
Right.
And I can't sing. So,
I can't think of one.
yeah, you can. It's going to come to me. Give me a second. Now, but the SOS was mine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my story about Chuck Brown was, give me the beat, George. Give me the beat. Now, I'm listening to this. Keep going, George. And I keep saying, well, when is he coming on stage? Because this old dude is up here playing this little guitar. Little did I know that was Chuck Brown. I was like, this old dude is him.
Yeah, Chuck Brown played for 2 hours
Yes,
straight.
he
And
did.
when he finished, he was soaking wet. And he says, Larry, give me 20 minutes to relax a second. And he signed every single person's autograph. And the line went down 20, 30 yards down the street. He signed every autograph and then came back and talked about his kids from Virginia Tech and died 4 months later.
4 months later.
So I'm gonna give
Yeah.
you SOS.
No.
Take your time, do it right. We can do it, baby.
When?
Do it tonight.
That's when you got that.
And I don't care about your other girls.
Oh,
Just be good to,
to
me.
me. That's right. There you go. There you go. That's right.
That was my SOS song right there. But
We are
I love the
reliving the
Cultural
days.
Fest. I love
Yeah.
it. I'm so glad you guys have not cut that out of the budget.
I don't think, as long as I'm here, we will not.
Okay, you hear that, everybody?
I can't promise what happens later, but as long as I'm here, this is something that I think is essential to this community. It's essential to being able to bring us together, and the idea of understanding and recognizing the different cultures that make up Dauphin County is what makes me beat my chest and make me be proud to be from this community. So it's always going to exist.
And a shout out to the other commissioners too. I mean, they're gung ho with everything. Very supportive, always at the festival.
And their names are?
Mike Prees
And
and
Chad
Chad Saylor.
Chad's our newest commissioner, correct?
He is, correct.
And Jeff Hayes is retired. He's not in the mix anymore, but I mean, he was very, very
Instrumental.
in pulling things together to host this cultural festival as well.
And I will tell you, again, we got done this weekend in Lancaster. I've been in the national level. We're very fortunate in Dauphin County that it's not this political battle over things that don't get things done. We actually have 3 commissioners that don't play those games as it relates to doing what's in the best interest of people. And I'm proud to serve with all of the members I've been able to serve with, particularly Mike Prees and Chad Saylor.
Okay.
Gina, you want to hear who's going to be there?
I sure do.
I mean, I don't know how our time is,
Listen,
but
for
we don't
you
want to
guys,
talk so
we
much.
got
We don't
all
even
day.
we don't even address who's going to be on the stage that day.
Who's on the stage?
Okay, and we're going to start about 3:00. You know, and Helen Spence has a few youth artists that are coming in. I know the Maniacs, those dancers, they always perform early. I mean, they call in late, and we got to put them on stage, but we always get them. But Troop Heidi, belly dancers are going to be there. Little Tim, the singer,
Oh, Little Tim?
he's going to
He
be
didn't say Lil Kim. He said Lil Tim.
Lil Tim.
Who can sing, y'all?
Our first band that will go on to be the Harrisburg Iconic All Stars.
Okay.
They're a new group. They performed on Jazz Under the Stars, and there are a lot of the older guys that are in Harrisburg that played all over the place. Terrence Webb and Perky Scott are the lead singers, and we got horns and everything like that. And so,
Calvin
think
Gilchrist
is
is
my-
the drummer.
yes,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah,
Is this the group that my Aunt Sherry sings in?
yes, Sherry, yeah.
See?
Yep. They were
Yeah,
Jazz Under the
they're
Stars.
iconic.
Yeah.
So no, they're
Okay.
on fire
Great.
right now. So this will be our second outing, and I don't want to mention it, but they're going to be at the Whitaker on the 25th of November.
You don't
Okay.
want
We'll
to
talk
mention it,
about-
but you will.
But we'll talk about that.
But he did.
That's another show, Gina.
Okay, go on.
We got the Blooming Lotus Napoli dancers, that we talked about. The Sunshine Dance Club, Dance Club. Yam Yam. They're
Is that like Yum Yum?
Yam Yam. They're a local group that has gained international, national quality. They perform all the time in HMAC and also Club XL. They have a huge following.
Oh, great.
And it's diversity. These guys are white, but got a funk beat that does not let
Quit.
up. And if you haven't heard Yam Yam, you haven't heard Yam Yam, Gina?
Did they perform for us before Cultural Fest?
No.
First time on stage.
No, and I wanted to get them for the Jazz Festival, but they're very, very good.
Okay.
And then we have the McGinley School of Dance. And George, you can take half of these if you want.
McGinley School of Irish Dance is, again, an international group that's known for the type of dance that they do. They're phenomenal. I mean, if you ever seen them, that type of energy it takes to be able to do that kind of dance, that is truly impressive. Then we've got the Latino dancers and singers. We've got Belladonna, Chinese Cultural and Arts Institute, Duenaman African Dance. Then the Drew Hill leading up the act at 8:50. They're coming on at 9 p.m. Well, that's the plan anyhow, Harrisburg. The plan is to put them on at 9 p.m., but depending upon the hosts and depending upon the atmosphere, they might go on at 9:30, 9:45, and hopefully they're going to be able to perform a phenomenal set that probably in a small market is not being done across this country. So thank you to Larry Moore and the culture.
And one group that George talked about, Belladonna. Belladonna is an all-female group.
It's the daughter of Chuck Brown.
The daughter of Chuck
Really?
Brown is in that group. They're all
Okay.
females. I'm talking about bass, drums, guitar, all females.
Go-go group.
They play go-go, and they do all the female singers. They're one of the hottest club groups in D.C., so we have a great lineup for the day. The vendors, everyone send up a prayer that the weather holds for us that day, that we can get through the day. But it's going to be very, very special to everyone in the community.
Okay, well, let me just say this. The paper says 8:50 Drew Hill. The host is going to start them at 8:50.
Is that a promise today?
That's a promise.
Okay, I hear that.
And thank
I hear
you
that.
guys for being on the show this afternoon. Harrisburg, this is what's going on. Thank you, and have a super fantastic day.